You may have tried building or breaking a habit many times and likely failed. How many times have you promised yourself to exercise in the morning, but you slept through the alarm 3 times because you were too lazy to get up? Or, what if you say you are going to drink more water, but you did not even carry a water bottle? Learning where to start is a common problem for people who want to change their habits. There are certain energy-saving tactics that you can do to make it easier. What directions do you want to take in your life? 20 seconds can make a surprising difference. The 20-second rule was given by Harvard happiness researcher Shawn Achor in his book The Happiness Advantage: How a Positive Brain Fuels Success in Work and Life. Like many of us, he also struggled to change his habits. The principle of the 20-second rule is quite simple. If you want to make a habit, you have to decrease the activation energy for positive habits and increase it for negative habits. Activation energy is the amount of effort required to start a certain action. More precisely, the less time and effort it takes to start a certain action, the easier it will be to develop a habit. Similarly, if you want to break a habit, you should make it difficult for yourself to integrate it into your life. Humans are lazy from birth, and we often look for the easy option. Our brains have evolved in such a way that they prefer to spend as little energy as possible to complete a task. This natural laziness can be used to make or break a habit with the 20-second rule. Shawn Achor describes his struggle with behavior change in his book. He wanted to practice playing guitar more and wanted to reduce the amount of time he spent watching TV. But like all of us, he faced a problem when he wanted to change his behavioral pattern. It was not enough for him to tell himself he would do it. His guitar still stayed in the closet and watching TV remained his default behavior. He recognized he needed to change his default behavioral patterns, or nothing would change. He quickly realized that, whenever he wanted to play guitar, he first had to go to the closet, take the guitar out, and only then he could play. This process took about 20 seconds, but even this minimal effort seems to be enough to stop Shawn from playing the guitar. When he realized this, he took out the guitar and placed it on a guitar stand in the living room. Now, whenever he wanted to play, he didn't have to go in the closet. He could pick it up and play with very little activation energy. He applied the same approach to his TV habit. He removed the remote's batteries and put them in a drawer in another room. The next few nights, when he came home from work and sat on the couch, he noticed something was wrong. He kept pressing the on button on the remote. But the TV didn't turn on, because he had removed the batteries. He did not want to get up and go to another room to get the batteries, because it would require more effort. Instead, he picked up his guitar, which was within arm's reach, and played it. His desire to watch TV faded as the days passed, and playing guitar became more natural. This minor intervention enabled him to change his default behavior. Shawn writes in his book, "I like to refer to this as the 20-second rule, because lowering the barrier to change by just 20 seconds was all it took to help me form a new life habit." This strategy may sound simple, but most of us don't use it. The most difficult part of any behavior is the beginning. The more activation energy you need to start an activity, the less likely you are to start it. And the less activation energy you need, the more likely you are to do it. The 20-second rule is all about taking 20 seconds to make things easier or harder. And this strategy can be applied to almost any behavior that you want to change. It should be noted here that 20 seconds is only a suggestion and not an absolute number. In some cases, it may take more than 20 seconds, and in some less. The main goal is to lower the barriers between things you want to do more frequently by making them easier for you to do, and increase the barriers between the things you don't want to do, making it more difficult to begin. Here are some activities in that you can apply the 20-second rule to make them better. You've probably noticed that there are some apps on your phone that you actually want to avoid, but still use a lot. One of the reasons for this is the habits you have acquired over time. Your brain remembers the automatic pattern of opening and using the app. You instinctively know where the app is on your home screen, and without giving it much thought, you use it again and again. You can reduce this automated action by relocating the apps to a different location and moving it again when you're familiar with that location. The next time you want to use the app, you've to find it or look for it in a different place. This way you can be more aware of the app use and give you more control over it. If you want to eat healthier, you can eliminate all non-healthy foods. Because eating ready-made and processed foods is more convenient than preparing healthy meals. However, if you are one of those people who still buy junk food and go out to eat, then you should consider preparing a few healthy meals on Sunday for the whole week. Then you only have to heat the food, which is much more convenient than eating junk food. Everyone knows how important reading is and how daily reading can improve our lives and our perspective on life. But it's not easy for everyone to build reading habits. Before going to bed, we usually put our mobile phones on the bedside table and have the habit of scrolling various social media until we fall asleep. On the other hand, the book you want to read is lying at your desk in the other room. The time required for you to start scrolling the phone is just a few seconds, while the time required to start reading the book is more than 20 seconds. To replace your phone scrolling habit with reading a book, you must reverse the time required to get started. Put a book on the bedside table before dinner and put the phone away from the bedside after dinner. Finally, before you go to bed, take the book and start reading. If you want to exercise regularly, choose a gym close to where you live, or the way to your office. If you need to drive 30 minutes extra every day to work out, it is a barrier, and you are less likely will go to exercise regularly. If you choose your gym on the way to the office, you will feel motivated to stop at the gym and work out on the way home. Another option is to prepare your gym bag the day before. This way you can reduce the activity and don't have to search for all the things that you need before going to the gym. Some people like to sleep in their exercise clothes because in the morning most of the time, we do not feel to go to the gym. As they already had on gym clothes, they feel positive to go exercise. It is not a secret that change is difficult. Most of the time, we rely on willpower to complete most of our daily activities. But the truth is that willpower alone is insufficient. When it comes to our behavior, our surroundings play a significant role. However, by understanding activation energy, we can replace negative behaviors with positive ones in less than 20 seconds.